Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ranting Atheist podcast. Today we'll be listening to a clubhouse room we had a while back. The conversation went into many topics, and I think this one was around the trolley problem, some abortion, sex dolls, and some other things. It's drifted to some different conversations. So I hope you enjoy this episode. If you are yet to subscribe, please consider subscribing on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other places podcasts are available. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, including our Discord server. We would love to have you there. So now let's go and listen to the clubhouse room where we're discussing the trolley problem and other topics.
The next question. So, actually, I want to turn the table. So there was this company that makes sex dolls, right? And they have reviewed that they've been getting a lot of requests to make like sex dolls of a couple of like shops.
It's fruity that way.
Right?
It's fruity. It's fruity.
Oh,
like he was.
I thought
please let me. No, Mr. can go ahead.
I think okay.
We have exhausted the whole abortion conversation now. You don't have it. That's it.
Yeah,
No, not that. He said he had like 4 questions.
Oh, 4 questions. Yeah, fruity. Go ahead.
He was asking us questions.
You can come in after Mr.
Okay.
Oh no, because I will end up during the whole conversation. So just say what you have to say.
Okay, so I guess I just wanted to get the atheist take on this. I don't know if you guys have heard of the trolley dilemma. No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ironically, we had a topic on this.
We had a game on this
like
literally which day.
Yes, I was just curious to know, where was atheist for in terms of that.
We will, the people, we'll do that.
You would do what?
Yeah, kill the people. I don't care who the one person is. Yeah, damn them.
What's the question don't mind again? It's different views from different people, Jerry.
We had different.
Okay, so the question is this, right? Like, so you have a chance to like redirect a trolley, and it can go 2 parts ways. So one part saves one person, the other part saves one part will kill one person, the other part will kill multiple people. And so you have to choose which one would you choose? The multiple people to save one, or to kill one person to save many?
Okay, sorry. Let me just. It's slightly different from that, right? So the thing is going on its own route too, and that route is the route that will kill 5 people. And then you can now either decide to do nothing and say, okay, that's their fate, let it go. Or you could actually pull the lever or the thing, right, that would change the route. So it changes its route to the one that is only going to kill one person. So do you decide not to do anything and let it go and kill 5 people? Or do you decide to actually step in and change it so it kills the one person?
I'll scream at the one person to leave the track and then I'll reroute it.
No.
That's always the way
either you do nothing or you reroute it. Those are your options.
I mean, I just let it go because who am I to interfere with people's fates? I've watched enough horror movies to know that death will come for them if it's their time.
So you let it kill the 5 people?
As opposed to changing the one person's fate? Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. So Miss Ann, you were saying that most of the atheists said they would change it, right? So it kills the one person.
Yeah. I think, yes, I think most people would like choose that one person. And that's kind of like what we do sometimes, right? In our like certain things that we do as like a society will kill off a few people, but we might end up, at least we think it might end up saving a bunch. So
but then Miss Ann, wouldn't you say that in that instance you are actually committing murder because you could have done nothing and let it happen, but then you decided to kill one person?
I mean, like, whether it's murder or not, right? I don't think it doesn't matter much because, like, whatever. What really matters is that, like, my conscience will weigh on that. So, I think it also depends on who that one person is too, right? Now, either one.
No, you don't know the person.
No, I think it does because, like, let's say the one person is a child.
Oh, okay.
And then the 5 people are now grown adults. yeah, I probably would save the child.
I agree
Really?
with that. If the 5 people were children, I would kill the adults. I don't like people much, and that's a me thing. I don't like adults. I prefer children. So if I have to save one child to kill 5 adults, I'm not even going to think twice. I'm sorry, I won't.
Are you serious?
Or wrong.
I won't think about it.
Or wrong.
Guys. Anyways, this was a follow-up question on what I asked about what atheists think of murder, and I think the general consensus was empathy, and you wouldn't want
The
to.
people who answer this question are not atheists, though. Mohe is not an atheist.
Oh no, I'm very Christian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you're like me. Haha.
Yeah,
Anyway, so yes, so Miss Sania, I think you were not here, right? So I think the general consensus was, obviously as atheists, you don't believe in religion or anything. So it goes. Most people are like, okay, empathy, and I wouldn't want to be killed. I wouldn't kill. But in this instance, where you are coming in when you didn't have to come in, right? You are killing someone, but you wouldn't want to be killed. So how does that apply? Because if you were the one person, you wouldn't want them to direct it to you, would you? So how does the empathy?
Let's put this in this particular way, right?
Are you sure?
Wait, so let's put it in a particular way, right? The way we value life, it's really dependent. So even that, I think Israel was like, oh, I love how everybody wants to add no more details to add value to their lives. Yes, because those details add the value to the person's life. Like, whether we like it or not, as a case in society, we do have people that we decide are less deserving of life, right? Or at least less deserving than others. We do that all the time. Now, let's look at this. There were a bunch of Nigerians that saw the whole Brazil's first carnival thing. So if you don't know, Brazil's had a carnival in Rio, and one of their statues they were carrying around was of the devil. So the main context behind that whole devil thing was actually very Christian, like, oh, devil is defeated type of stuff, right? But a lot of people didn't understand that context and thought they were trying to praise the devil or something.
Yeah, the devil.
So the flood happened. Yeah, the flood happened elsewhere, but it didn't matter to Nigerians. According to Nigerians, because they believed that they had committed blasphemy, they were less deserving of life. So, I mean,
I saw it. They posted in my church WhatsApp group. Dragged all of them down because the narrative was. I said I'm referring to the video. They posted it in my church WhatsApp group, and I dragged all of them by their edges because that was very stupid. Because their narrative was that these people are dying in a hurricane because they were worshiping the devil, and I was like, you people die on a daily basis. You people are suffering. Countries where they don't worship God, countries that are full of homosexuals, they are thriving, and you're here suffering. Does God hate you?
The matter is even worse because Nigeria just had a flood recently. Like, we just had a flood, right? After the whole dam.
Exactly.
So now what did we do? Who did we praise? Maybe did we low-key praise Satan with our carbon dioxide emissions? Like, was that what it is? Maybe the devil's face formed from all the generator noise.
Wow, are you crazy?
But this is real. Every year, June, July, May, June, July, like there are floods I live in Ghana. There are floods, especially in Accra, right? Because of the rains, the places get flooded. People die. People lose their houses. But then nobody is saying that God is punishing Ghana for, there are going to be deaths. At least 20 people who lose their lives every year. But nobody is saying because we worship the devil. That's why Christians piss me off. But yeah.
Sorry. Just to answer your question, Futi. So the trolley is going for the 5 people.
Yeah.
Right? And you have the chance to switch it to the one person. Is that the question?
Yes.
If that one person is body,
is Buhari? Oh my God! Oh my goodness!
Guys,
this is so crazy.
This is horrible.
Guys, hold on. Another news. So it's not mass shooting in the US again. Just now, it happened in Louisville.
Said it.
And the shooter left notes. Guess what the notes was about? So besides, of course, the note about black people and whatnot, the person said he wanted to showcase just how easy it is for a mentally ill person to buy AK-47.
Oh my God, this is sick.
What? Oh yeah.
I have people in America on my Instagram stories touting machine guns, and I just look like, this is crazy.
Sorry. Listen, was it an AK-47 or an assault rifle?
Okay,
AK-47 is an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Well, I meant that AR-15, the machine gun one. Sorry.
Yeah, I just said AK-47 because one I know is AR-15.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they have access to there, but it's still crazy.
Oh my goodness, that's scary. That people can actually buy that.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's like buying. One guy was complaining about buying bullets for his pump action. One of those people I was talking about. I was like $30. I was like, are you serious? It's just like going to buy. I mean, you could buy like Starbucks coffee maybe 3 or 4 times now. You've bought bullets.
Anyway, let's Ade talk before we go far. Ade.
Sorry, Ade, please, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I just I think your name is Mohair. I think I hear people call you that. Am I pronouncing it right? But yeah, I wanted to ask, because I thought she was an atheist actually. But you said you're a Christian.
Same.
So I wanted to ask, like, your stance on abortion, do you think it's in line with Christianity, or you don't take your morality from Christianity?
Mohair.
I think you've not met Mohair before.
No, I have been in rooms with her and all, but I don't really. I thought she was. I see her around.
No,
I just assumed.
No, she has. Let her explain again, Sha. She has explained.
Yeah, she already explained it before, though.
Oh, can someone just tell me what she did?
Me, I wasn't there, Sha. So.
No, I don't know if she. But basically, what I understand from my point of view is that. Sorry, can you hear me? Because this might be.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Now we can. You've disappeared.
You're speaking life out of you.
Yep.
But I think so I'm not a Christian per se, right? But I did say that I'm anti-abortion for myself in particular, right? And that's because like even if you're religious, at least is what I think. I don't know if that's what you say. Your morality is for you. So if you won't do something because you are morally against it, that's fine. I think that it begins and ends. It's your faith is for you. That's it. You don't extend your faith and your beliefs to other people.
No. But except if you work, except the morality, you are still breaking up. But I can hear you a bit now.
He's been trying to say. Ade's been trying to speak. So can we allow him speak?
No, Mohair, they were asking you.
I
was in the Matrix for a bit. What was the question?
Oh yeah. Let me just ask since it's here. My question to you was, I didn't know you're a Christian. I thought you're an atheist. But when you said you're a Christian, I had a question that your stance on morality, on abortion, do you think it's in line with Christianity, and do you take your morality from Christianity, or you just figure it out yourself?
Majority of my stances on a lot of issues aren't in line with Christianity. That's why a lot of people don't know I'm a Christian. I have a different, so I would say I am a God and Jesus Christ worshiper more than I am Christian. More than because Christianity as an organized religion pisses me the fuck off. But my moral compass is to an extent is a combination of common sense and the teachings of Christ. I'm not saying the teachings of the Bible. I'm saying the teachings of Christ as I have come to understand it.
No more.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Shebi, I told you people I'm not alone. Now we have members. We get members. Really?
Yeah, I was one of those before I eventually left. Okay, circle back to the whole.
No, but that's the thing.
We shall see.
So for me, my issue is this because I left the church and chose to come back. Sorry, and I came back. I left the church and
Come back.
yeah, I found another way to worship God. So I didn't really go back to the church. I left Christianity and left the church and I still left the church, but I've come back to Christianity. So my faith is not something I was conditioned to. My faith is something I chose. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't do it like the herd.
Yes, I feel you.
But-
I feel you.
Okay, I actually have more. I wanted to ask more questions, but I don't want us to derail. So let's maybe if one day when you show up, I'll probably ask these questions, or can I back channel you and ask some?
Yeah, maybe
ask
she
a few
should
more?
come for atheist Bible
that's
study
fine.
so you can grill her.
Oh,
No,
please,
I don't
I've
want to
been in-
grill. I don't want to grill her. I just want to ask a few cues. That's it.
Oh, so it's
So-
only us that we are due for grilling, Abi? Very good.
I actually want to ask you a few cues too, if you're willing. I didn't even know you were this nice, honestly.
I'm evil.
Anyway, all right, back to the
Oh.
who was
Yeah, the
talking.
question.
No.
Well,
I'm done with my questions, so Miss Ann can go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys about this thing that happened. So, sex company, they make sex dolls. That's the main gist. They've been getting requests for celebrities, right?
Fruity, thank you for
Israel, please. Yeah, I don't know what you did to Globe.
What's going on?
But yeah, so one of the top requests they got was for Meghan Markle.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought people hated her.
That's
Oh
what
my
I
God.
thought too.
One of the top requests who got?
Like the top request to make into
Sex
a sex
dolls.
doll was Meghan
Oh
Markle.
wow.
That is so
I lie.
easy. Our society.
Sorry,
Oh
you
my
said was
God.
who, please? I didn't hear that name. Was who?
Meghan Markle, that's not her pronounce her name.
Meghan Markle,
Duchess
the-
of Sussex.
Oh, Duchess.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Wow. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised too.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I'm not-
you
I-
say you
I-
thought
I
the
would
fact
have-
that
I would-
people hold on, the fact that people want to fuck her doesn't mean they don't hate her. Those are two different things.
That's
Well, isn't it easier to just fuck someone you don't hate?
that's what we've been wondering
And I
since.
also
So
think
Majority
No, I
majority
also
of
think-
men
I
hate
also
women
think-
and they fuck them all the time.
No, I
It's
think
not-
Yeah,
I think
my
she's
God,
more
oh my
loved than she's
goodness.
hated, Sha.
let me
I think
say
she's more loved than
I
she's
also
hated.
think there's this thing that goes on the internet where people say, "Oh, I thought people hate them," but yet they like we're assuming that it's the same people that you see on the internet that are saying they hate them. How do you know they are the same people ordering for the
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
stuff? Like they might be totally different demographics.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love the
you
use
just
of
have to-
data.
I mean, if it's to use data to say do men like women or not, I mean, should we do that? That's more damning than whatever I said on the internet.
I mean,
Let's
yeah,
not do that. If we do that,
Yeah, but-
let's not go
Pretty
there.
would
Like,
cry.
I think that
demographic
if you
of
look at
people
the-
requesting those sex dolls.
they probably don't like her, and so I am in the NCW. I think most of you guys know that I'm an NCW artist, right? And you'll be shocked how often this thing happens, where like there's a character, whatever it is that a lot of men don't like in particular, but they can't stop drawing porn of that person. A very good example is this Velma thing that happened. Yeah, I was so shocked when I saw it. So they made a new Velma TV show, whatever, and she's
Yeah, I
She's
love
a
it.
lesbian.
Queer.
Yeah, she's Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that almost all of the porn drawn of her, right, on Twitter, whatever it is, are drawn by people who hate her. They can't stand her, and that's like part of the appeal of it, right? You look through the comment section, like of the, because I didn't watch the show. I didn't like certain things that was happening, but I don't know if just people carrying narratives, and maybe I should try it out for myself. But like, yeah, a lot of people didn't like her, and they were drawing the life out of her, saying, I can change her. Yeah, to become more pleasant minded.
I have an
That's
explanation.
crazy.
for that.
Perverted way.
I have an explanation for that, especially when it comes to women. So you know how like society has this perception that sex is something that is done to women, and the most degrading thing you can do to a woman is fuck them, and that is why there's this narrative that the more people you have sex, the more value you lose. Yes. So if you're a woman and a man hates you, he's more likely to rape you or to fuck you than if he actually likes you. You find that women that men really, really like, they're not in a hurry to like ram them. They want to spend time with them. They want to do things for them. Do you get it? And that's why I live in Ghana, right? So I grew up partly in Tema, partly in Spintex. Anybody who's been so one thing in Tema is that if you're a girl, especially you come from a rich family, you have a good head on your shoulders, you're not promiscuous, or you don't talk to a lot of people, you're hated. And if you're one of those girls that a lot of people in the neighborhood don't like you, boys would literally come together and gang rape you just to humiliate you. So sex is a way that men have been, is something that men have been using to degrade and devalue women for generations. That's why it's very easy for a man to fuck a woman that he hates than it is for him to fuck a woman that he likes.
Wow.
Is that to add in the Madonna Hall complex to it, right?
Yeah, that one too.
I mean, can the men here
Can the straight men confirm if this is true?
I'm sorry.
Please
Yeah,
let them confirm.
These are these are the issues I personally have when people talk.
Yeah, this is.
I feel honestly I think there's some hyperbolic language being used, and the language being used is not precise. Like when you say it's easier, like the initial thing you said about, I see, I know, and I believe that some men, fuck women with the intent of like it being like a punishment, right? So you can attribute that to like some sort of hate, right? But to then make the general statement that it's easier for men to have sex with women they hate than than women they actually like. It makes men take it like a personal thing, where again, back to what I said earlier, that each man on this thing now is thinking that to himself, that when I want to have sex with a woman, do I have this deliberate,
but are they
intentional?
Like there are days when I'm like talking about Nigeria, right? And I say all Nigerians are trash and all Nigerians are stupid. Nigerians is going to go to hell. You guys know those days when I just come in here. Does that mean all of you? Do you guys take it personal and mean I'm talking about you guys?
Yeah,
but let me say this. I did not say all men.
Yeah, I know you did not say that. Yeah, let me respond to this, right? So the point is that, are you like to make the statement that men, when you say men, like I would take it to mean that when you generalize, doesn't mean it's everybody, but there should be like a good percentage of it, like majority. So, and I think that's what I'm addressing. So, are you saying that majority of men? Remember, don't take this entire conversation as one. There is the first part that I agree with. I'm just referencing this idea that in general, men find it easier to have sex with women they hate than women they love. In general, like that's like the norm.
I think I will use a general statement because a lot of men don't like prostitutes.
So here's the thing, right? First of all, I'm having this conversation with the assumption that I'm having a conversation with intelligent people. And that's why it's easier for me to so when I'm on stages with those dullards, I would have to come. I do not mean all men. I don't have energy for that. Secondly, when I'm speaking about men, I'm speaking about men as a system. It is something that, and you see, before something becomes a phenomenon, then a lot of people within that demographic have exhibited that trait, and that is why it can be attributed to said demographic. So yes, the men who would actually not want to fuck women whom they like, they're in the minority. And I know this is something that men don't like to accept, but the men who are harmful they outnumber men who are not harmful. I mean, you people know this. I know you
Hold on,
people
hold
know
on. Wait.
This is a lot.
Wait. Depending on what you mean, depending on what you mean by harmful, right? So, and
harmful in every sense of the word.
Yeah, no, that's
To
why
me,
no.
to me.
Yeah, that's why I said depending on what you mean by harmful, because there is a sense in which I would definitely agree with you, which is that men are definitely prone to violence, like obviously. So in general, it's fair to say men are dangerous and harmful, and usually most of the problem in society are
Exactly,
bad
but does
men.
that mean
So
every man is violent?
no. Listen. I'm granting that is very correct, right? But there's a line to be drawn, right? Which is that there's levels to what harm is, right? So I'm a man, right? And I'm most likely dangerous, right? But at least you don't know this, but let's just assume that I'm not the type of man that will probably rape someone, yeah. But I'm also dangerous as a man, right? But then when you say a lot of men are harmful, I think it's still necessary to differentiate different levels of this harmful.
Actually, Ade, I think you're doing a lot of mental gymnastics because this makes you uncomfortable. And this is why I'm saying that.
Maybe.
And it's a human thing. We all do it. And this is why I'm saying that, right? So men, when it comes to human beings, the demographic that causes most harm to men are other men, not women. They're men. The demographic of human beings that causes most harm to women are men, not other women. The demographic of human beings that causes most harm to children are men. It is a fact. Does it mean every man is harmful?
Hold on. Did you hear what I said? Because you said I'm doing mental gymnastics.
No, you are saying that I should qualify it, but I'm speaking in a specific context.
No, I didn't say you have to qualify it. You are not responding
that context. You as a man, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying you're not responding to what I'm saying because, you telling me that men cause more harm to men, cause more harm to women, cause more harm to children. It's something I already granted. So you didn't need to say it to me, right? I already granted that. Obviously, I know that. I just said it that, in general, men are the problem when especially if you want to talk about physical violence and even almost every other problem you want to call in society, you probably have men leading this problem. I don't even think that's disputable, and I don't dispute it. I think it would be rational for anybody to even want to argue that, right? But I'm just trying to bring a nuanced point to the conversation where, if we're talking and we say this and I grant this, and then we now move to some gruesome harm that is being done by some men, right? And then it almost seems because we already said men are mostly violent in general, right? And harmful. When you now start talking about these gruesome harms, right? It almost seems like we're saying that most men actually participate in these gruesome harms. And that's just what I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah, but that's actually what I'm saying. Most men do, especially in relation to women. See, 1 in every 3 girls are going to face some form of sexual violence before they get to the age of, because most women are at the receiving end of most women face most women are victims of those harm. And it's not, you can't tell me it's a particular group of men that are traveling or it's a particular very small sect and they have open branches all over the world that are doing these things. No, it's majority. Because this is people in their homes, people in their schools.
Is this statistically proven? Because I take exception to that.
Yes, 1 in every 3 women. 1 in every 3 women.
Not the women aspect. The men saying that majority of men are the ones doing this. Yeah.
No, Fuji, listen to what I'm saying.
Her.
Listen to what I'm saying. 1 in every 3 women will face some form of sexual violence before they get to the age of 18. If majority of women are facing some form of sexual violence, and then when it comes, and then we have almost the same amount. Well, we have more men than we have women in the world. We have almost the same number of men as we have of women. The majority of men are causing these harms because the women that have.
It doesn't follow.
No, that doesn't follow. First of all, that
doesn't follow.
So you actually started by saying that. Hold on, please. Let me just say this, right? You started by saying 1 in every 3 women, so that's not majority. And I also want to say before I even go on that, I agree with what you're saying. Everything you're saying right now, in terms of like, because I think what's going on here is that maybe what I mean by gruesome harms is not what you think I mean, right? Because if it comes to, and
Okay,
maybe I'm just
wait, good question here. How is 1 in 3 not majority?
It is. I'm like, and another thing, I do want to, I have to point this out.
Let me respond to that, please. You just said how is 1 in 3 not majority? Is that what you just asked?
Mm-hmm. Please, when I said 1 in every 3 women are facing some form of sexual violence, I specified that. When I say majority of women go through harm, I wasn't referring to the 1 in 3. 1 in 3 was just limited to sexual violence. I used that as just an excuse. Women in their daily lives, right? Women, the one demographic that women are most afraid of is men. The reason why women would choose not to wear certain things, the reason why women look over their shoulders is because of the existence of men in proximity to them. Men, put aside health reasons, men are like literally one of the most harmful creatures to women, because especially women who don't live in the jungle, so they don't have to deal with wild animals. So aside health issues, aside accidents, men are a threat to our existence, just existed in proximity to us. And I'm saying it's the majority. I'm saying it's the majority. You're not a woman. You're not a woman. You're not a woman. You will not know.
Wait, did you hear what I just said?
No, but then you would need to prove that statistic. People say the majority of men are the ones doing it.
What do you want me to say? I need.
I'm like,
you know what? You guys, hold on. Everybody, hold on for a second. You know what? You know what, guys? You're actually right. The majority of girls who go through assault are being done by cops. So.
Sorry, I've been done by what?
I'm being very serious. It's done by a cult of 5 men, as a matter of fact.
It might not be 5 men.
Yeah,
for instance, it might be 5% or 10%.
It's 5 men, so it's just a few of them. Yeah, these sexual deviants go around harassing everybody.
Hold on, Miss Ann.
And their mama, it's horrible.
Yeah.
No, look if you look through the pinned link, you can see the Nigerian government is actually fighting against these 5 men. Okay, they are
5 men.
I don't know why you are doing this.
I don't know about 5 men, but yeah, if you're going to make statements like that, I think you should be able to back it up with statistics. That's just my point.
Fruity. It's not. Ladies, I haven't been in here for a very long time, but since I have been in here, what I've been hearing is men not taking the experiences of women seriously. And that is just really, really weird to me, considering and this is what kills me with a lot of men, because let's say that y'all have a daughter, okay? Sexism aside, misogyny aside, right? Let's say that that men have a man has a male friend. If men are not a threat to women, then why are you telling your daughter to change her clothes the moment when your friend comes over, when he should not be coming over, if you even have to think that she needs to change her clothes? That's just one of many examples how I know that y'all know that men are a threat to the lives of women. I know that y'all know this. I know that regardless of the statistics that we pull out, regardless of all of these things, you are denying a known fact that patriarchy is a very real thing, and misogyny and the systemic oppression of women is a global thing, and that cannot be denied. It's literally a thing. Femicide is literally a global thing. And I'm not understanding how it's conducive to deny how men oppress women on a global scale. That is real violent and misogynistic.
So I actually want to make clarity on that statistics thing, right? So here's the thing. I'm telling you majority. I haven't pulled any statistics, right? It's just common sense. Minority of men cannot harm majority of women.
It's literally
a small number of men.
No. First of all, that doesn't follow. Your
impossibility. That's actually
remember. like remember. First of all, I want.
I'm like, I need y'all to get out of y'all feelings.
No, because
let me
no, and this is what.
Please hear me out.
Eddie, you gotta get out of your feelings. There's no way that you're gonna be able
Michaela, let him finish. Let him finish.
Let me try and hear what I'm saying.
And hey, boo, it's nice to see you, by the way.
It's nice to see you again, darling.
All right, yeah. So, like, first of all, like, me and Fruity are two different persons, and we probably would disagree on this issue, me and him. So, like, I want you to hear what I am saying, right? First of all, I didn't talk. Most of what you guys are saying, I'm in no way disputing it, right? And I've been saying that clearly. So, I want me and Fruity to be like distinct people, so you don't like just respond to both of us together, yeah. So, I'm not.
But you finished.
Yeah, I know. No, I know, but I think like.
And there's really pulling his not all men card today.
I'm like, and I hate when they do that. That is very violent.
Can I? Oh my god! Like, just
no, Michaela, hold on. Let him finish. I did go ahead.
Yeah, like,
go ahead.
respond to what I'm saying, not what you think I'm saying. First of all, like, I actually am of the opinion. Like, in fact, I actually think I changed my position as in this conversation, which is that when I said majority of men don't like commit like gruesome harms, right? When I was making the case for that, right? I think maybe what I mean by gruesome harm might be the extreme of the extreme, but there might be what you might think is gruesome harm that I think I would probably agree with that a lot of men probably commit. But then to the issue when you said minority of men could not be committing this amount of like harm to majority of women, that's obviously not true. Like it could be
how?
Like, it could be 40% of men. Hold on. Do you know that if 40% of men are terrible and bad, right? Which I think is probably even more than that percent. But 40% is enough. In fact, more than enough to commit the evils we are saying. For this stats of
to be fair, because statistically there are more men than women, so that will hold.
Yeah, so that's just what I was and I need me to also be like tracking the conversation. So like I could disagree with one point and agree with another point. So like I agree with all the other points, but like when you said this it couldn't be minority of men, I could just disagree with that particular thing that it could be. And I'm not even saying it is.
So would you agree with me saying majority of men are a danger to women?
Definitely. I think I stated this.
So what is exactly the pushback?
I think it's always this thing. Yeah. So that one there.
I'm like, so you're agreeing with everything that's being said. So I don't understand the pushback. If the agreement and the stand, I'm like, and the common sentiment is that men, which is true, are a danger to women, both historically, I'm like currently, and patriarchy, I'm like that has been around for thousands of years, and has oppressed women for a millennia, has proven that to be a fact. What is it exactly is the pushback when Major says is that the biggest threat to women is men? I'm not actually understanding.
I think we need to find a new name for patriarchy because I hate when I hear the patriarchy. It just bugs my ears. We just call it dark entity. That's the dark spirit that possesses.
I'm screaming. Okay, Ade, now that we've sorted your issue, Fruity.
Yeah.
You don't be proud.
Now, more Fruity was asking us to prove that majority of men are. But anyway, first of all, where do you live? Which country do you live in?
I live in Nigeria.
Oh, you live in Nigeria.
Oh,
have you traveled outside of Nigeria? Like, have you traveled to a white supremacist society?
Yeah, I've traveled. Yes.
Okay, so then you know a bit about racism because I'm guessing you're a black man. Okay, white people are racist. Do you think majority of white people are racist, or it's just a small percentage?
I can't really speak to that because it's not really been.
You
my
can't
experience.
really speak to racism. Okay,
you cannot speak to racism as a black man.
But don't think that he's Nigerians, even saying things that like so in his defense, right? There's certain things that were microaggressive or like subtle racism that me and my dad didn't pick up on, but my stepmom, who's African American, picked up on it. and then she was not fighting for us, but we were confused, and she had to explain to us that, oh, this is why this person did what they did. So
there's a cultural, so Michaela, there's a cultural disconnect if you are not like firsthand having to deal with racism on a daily basis as a Black person. For me, everything that I understand as racism is something I had to learn because I left the West when I was really young. So I actually had to internally learn about it. Do you understand? So I do. That's why I asked.
Considering that you come from majority Black countries, that makes sense.
Yes. That's why I asked him if he has lived to know if he'll be able to understand whatever analogy I was going to give.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Fruity, most of the people here know it's not like really my job. I volunteer. I'm feminist, true and true, and I volunteer with organizations that deal with victims of sexual assault rape, right? I live in Ghana, right? I've never had to deal with the same perpetrator twice. Every region I've been in, right? Last year, 28th of May, I went to a region where I found 70 girls who were victims of rape, and they were all different perpetrators. You seldom, unless it's a serial rapist, and those people are not as well. Okay, so every man is a serial rapist, and this is my opinion. Every man has a potential to be a serial rapist, because if you can do it to one person,
you keep saying these things, and I think it's actually offensive because you're making.
You see, listen to understand.
It's
Don't
debate.
listen to react. Yes, take your emotions out of it and then understand what I'm saying. Every man has the potential to be a serial rapist, because if you can do it to one person, you can do it to another person. Every rapist and every man has the potential to be a rapist. If you be honest with yourself, you will know that this is true. Every person who has been caught with rape, it's very difficult for you to convince me. Listen, it's very difficult for you to convince me that somebody who has been convicted of rape was convicted during their first time. Majority of the time, it's not usually their first offense. Right. Now, that aside, you cannot tell me that it is a small sect of people. I know this conversation is very uncomfortable, especially being a man, but then you have to remove your emotions from it and try to understand. You can't tell me that it is just a small group of people that are going around from country to country, city to city, but there's a sect of people who have decided to harm these people. I have said this in the last, we're in 2023, so this year, in the last 2 years, I have seen about 120 cases of rape, pedophilia, and with adult women, and it has been 120 different men. 120 different men.
Yeah. Can I say something to Fruity? Yeah.
Please do.
So Fruity, yeah. So because before I go, let me just say that I do agree with that. Yeah, I think there's something about men that makes them potential rapists, and I even have this belief that there's hardly any man, and I mean this literally, right? There's hardly any man that if you really, really check all their entire sexual history, you wouldn't see something that you can say this was rape. I have no stats to back this up, but I believe it. So now, and just to back this up, right? I want to, yeah, you could say that.
What is going on in this room?
Wait, now let me. I'm not just throwing this out, right? I want to engage you, Fruity, and make you see why I have that intuition, right? So now, just think about Fruity. Think about how horny and how aggressive you see men go for sex in society in general, right? And think about how society is and how sex is seen in society and how women are willing to give sex most times, right? Or to engage in sex. So think about any man you know, right? And think about his entire life And think about it that has there been any point in time where he's been like in a room with a woman and he's trying to make a move? Because remember that we're already in a society that like women are shamed for sex, right? So like most times it's demand that like it almost seems like it's been put on like demand to like try and get her to agree. So don't you think with the way you see most men behaving, right? Maybe what you are thinking is that most men don't like aggressively like this physical beating her up and raping her, or just maybe you think, oh, most men don't do that, right? But I mean, like even their girlfriends or maybe a girl that actually likes them or maybe even wants it. Don't you think for most men there would have been a time where maybe the girl is saying no or she's reluctant and he just keeps pushing? You don't think that's happened to most men? Pretty, I'm asking directly.
So yeah, I guess based on what you said, I can't deny that there'll be a good number of men that have
No,
been
no,
in
I
that
want you
situation.
to answer most men. I'm saying like if
No,
there is
I don't know about most men, because again, when you say most is majority. So yes,
yeah, and
I cannot
in
speak.
fact, I'm not even saying majority.
Yeah,
I'm 50%.
I
He don't want to join this man. That's his own problem.
No, but like
It's
if it
like,
doesn't apply, no. But you see, my problem with fruity, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. But then
so
it
wait, what do
makes
you
you
mean? It doesn't
uncomfortable. No, it makes you uncomfortable. So
it
you're
doesn't
pushing back
okay.
on it.
So Muhire, let me just say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I First of all, I'm not really in this space cause like I prefer men, right? So even this idea of men, this it's not the
oh my
dynamics
God, your
between men and
name is
women.
pretty.
So you're
Your
someone who experiences
name.
homophobia.
Damn. Okay, I
Wait,
see. I
wait,
didn't even
Fruity is
realize. I
not
didn't put two
straight.
and two
No,
together.
no, but
Wait,
my issue
Fruity,
has
did you
been,
just
and
say
I'm not even saying everything that, sorry, let me just speak, right? The things we have is about what women have been going through in terms of wanting free women and everything. I've not said anything against those. But you now saying everything you're saying, and then now drawing that parallel and saying, therefore, majority of men have done this. I need to see those numbers. Because for all you know, yes, why it looks like a high number. It could be just like Ade said, 30%, 40%, or even 20%. So if you're going to make those kinds of claims,
Do you know
back
why
them up
this
with
okay?
numbers.
You
yeah,
okay? Fine.
but
So
I thought I tried
let's
to
keep something
engage
straight,
you.
right? Wait, guys, let me just handle this real quick. So in Nigeria, yeah, we only have, I think since was it 2019 or whatever, we only had like what 30 something convicted rapists in Nigeria. Yeah. So the stats for convicted rapists, you're not going to find it because in
Grossly
Nigeria,
underrepresented.
the ghost on the is it not let us say just a ghost at this point that is there. But what we do have is the amount of women and children that have been sexually assaulted or sexually harassed at one point in their life. Right. Then, besides that, we also have child marriage. The children are marrying ghosts. Right. That is one of the highest in the world. I think we have what third highest rates of child marriage. Yeah. We have all these things, factors to point to a particular direction here as to what are the rates of men or numbers of men that are sexual assaulters. And in our society, it's majority. And you know it's majority. In your mind,
No, Mr.
but you just
No,
No,
can't
I
Mr.
don't.
represent it. Wait,
You know what
Mr.
majority
Hold on.
is?
I'm
Majority is
about to
over
blow his mind.
50%.
I'm about to, yeah, it is over 50. In
You
fact,
can't make those kinds
I
of
yeah.
claims. You have to back it up.
listen,
Yes, we
fruity,
can.
fruity, 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 fruity. Relax. I can put my neck on the line and say the day somebody decides to and I know it's going to be very difficult because this 120 that even I mentioned in Ghana, these are people that have come to through my organization. And guess how many of those things we're allowed to take to the police station? 30. Out of the 30, it's only one person that we're able to convict because it got to a point the systems fought against us so much. So what we do is that we focus more on the well-being of the victim than on persecuting the perpetrator because we have a system that's fighting against us. One person ended up in jail. The rest paid fines, right? So again, you're not going to get those numbers. and this is my organization, is just one small organization. Imagine the number of organizations that work in Ghana and the number of cases that they see on a daily basis. The reason why I'm saying it's a majority is because a lot of you people think rape is just a violent thing. A lot of people don't understand what consent is and when consent is void. A teacher having a sexual relationship with his students, guess what? Legally, under Constitution and under the law, if you look at the definition of consent, that's a sexual assault because there's a power vacuum. So whatever consent that student has given is void. A boss coercing his employee into a sexual relationship, that's a sexual assault because that consent is void. Because once there is power vacuum, you are leveraging your power over that person. Now, in the Ghanaian constitution, if you promise, I'm just going to break it out. If you promise somebody something in exchange for sex and then you don't deliver your part of the bargain, whatever consent that person gave you is void. That's sexual assault. Then we come to the people who, when they say no, you know that this thing that when a woman says no, no means yes, right? A lot of men have had sexual relationships with women and sometimes even men, because yes, we do get some cases from the queer community. Sometimes even men, where they have said no, and what they tried a little harder, pushed a little farther, and then got them to finally agree to sex. You don't know what's happening in that person's mind. That consent is void because that consent was over coercion. You leveraging something that somebody needs over them to get them to give you sexual favors. That's a sexual assault.
I don't think that's how statistics work. So let me just say, right, everything you said again buttresses your point about how, again, your point about 1 in 3 women have been through this, majority of women have been through this, and, you know, all of that is very valid and very true. But for you to be able to say something like majority of men, even if, as you said, rape.
But that's the thing. I don't owe, no, hold on, let me finish. I don't owe any man on this earth evidence to prove that women are being sexually assaulted. A minority, it would be such an issue. You think random women would just be going around afraid of random men? Do you know that there's a phenomenon in America, and it's not just in the United States, even in Africa, where I live, you cannot relate. This is something that you will never be able to relate to. So I don't owe you or any man whatsoever. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But don't ask me to prove to you that majority of men are harmful to majority of
men.
So
I think I will give my statement. Hold on, please. I'll give my statement. I was cut off. So
thank you for listening to this episode. Please subscribe up Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and other places podcasts are available. Then check out the show notes for links you may find useful, including our Discord server. Would love to have you there. Have a great week, and I will catch you on the next one.